You want to see what's in the Walmart camping section, and I'm going to show you what they've got new for 2022. In January of 2020, I made a video where I showed all the camping gear that Walmart had to offer, and apparently a lot of you really enjoyed that video and are still watching it to this day. So I thought it's time to update, because Walmart has actually updated the gear that they're selling. So at this Walmart in Galveston, Texas, we went and checked it out. They had a lot of awesome stuff. Definitely a lot of stuff aimed towards fishing and crabbing. But as you can see here, we got a lot of propane stoves, barbecues, things like that. We've got some cutlery, bowls that are easy for packing and hacking. Hacking? No. But things that you can rewash, reuse, stuff like that, so you can cut down on your waste that you're throwing out. Pots and pans that are easy to pack up. Your portable coffee pots for camping. You've got some pop-up grills you can put over a campfire. Things that make it easier to cook coffee on there, as well as cook your chicken or whatever else you want to heat up on there. Had a great selection of the Lodge brand cast iron. I was impressed. I think they've always had this selection, but, well, okay, maybe not as much as they had now. But the reason that I picked to film at this location in Galveston was I felt like their selection was on point. They were doing a great job. It was well stocked, and it was a wide variety. I thought it was a bigger selection. Love this little multi-spice thing. Something great. I mean, even if you're backpack hiking, you could take that with you, so you can have a variety. You got some water jugs there. You got some containers to waterproof stuff. These are meals that you can take along. Stuff you can add boiling water to it and allow it to warm up. Those are great for hiking trips. The famous egg. The egg carrier. Little toast thing there. Got some fold-up dishes, pans, buckets. You've got collapsible water jugs, large non-collapsible ones. These things are great for like making a toasted sandwich. You've got some forks to put hot dogs on, obviously marshmallows. The long wooden sticks you can see there, those are awesome. Those are what we use for roasting marshmallows at a campsite. If you're going to want to collect some water from like a creek or something like that, you're going to want some of these tablets and water purification systems. So that way you can make sure you're not getting sick from whatever bacteria is in that water. The privacy shelter, you can use that as a shower or the toilet. They've got portable toilets as well. It's a good idea to pick up a first aid kit no matter what kind of level of camping you're doing. Even if you're a doctor or a registered nurse, you know you need to have gear with you. And I love this outdoor brand. There's some dry sacks, great for putting your stuff in. Even if you're putting in a backpack, trying to keep your wallet and your phone dry is an excellent thing to do. A little tiny shovel there. I bet you can't guess what that's for. Bigger shovel for bigger guys. Pop-up container. These things make for great trash, refuse, whatever you want to put in there. I see the bags for the portable toilet. Got a couple of different hatches. The one with the 550 cord can be handy because you can take that 550 cord off and use it. Little universal tool. It could fit in your wallet. You've got different fold-up knives, things like that. Compasses, whistles. Get your machetes, so that you can, you know, cut down grass. You got emergency reflective tent. Beautiful emergency blankets. Great stuff to have with you. Toilet seat cover. That one's for like if you got a 5-gallon bucket, you can literally turn that 5-gallon bucket into a toilet. You just put that toilet seat on it. Those are the walking sticks that we currently have. They've got a couple different ones, but we've got those greenish ones. They fold up real nice. And they've got a good selection of backpacks, and they've got the various different sizes. Some of them have got the water bladders in them, so that you can have your drinking water back there with the, I'm sure there's a technical term. You can see it right there. It's blue, the little hose looking thing. And there's where you put the water in. Big enough you can put some ice in there with it. Some of the backpacks come with those in them. Some of them don't. Just depends on the mission. Each backpack is different. It's not just per person, but it's also going to be per what's your objective. What are you trying to carry with you on your hike? How many days are you staying out as to how much you're going to need to bring with you. They've got a couple different brands. I've been impressed with what they've had. I mean, honestly, Walmart, period, I think has a great selection of all of this stuff. Camping gear, hiking gear. it's like toys for big boys. They got this cool duffel bag backpack. Here's more of the Outdoors brand stuff, like a collapsible water bottle. And that stuff is really great if you're trying to save on space in your backpack and you're trying to cut down on how much you're carrying, how much weight you're carrying. Having a little collapsible roll-up water bottle is pretty handy. These are great. I've actually got something like that. It's like a day hike pack. We'll call it a fanny pack. And, you know, holds a couple of water bottles for a nice long day hike. Obviously, you don't need to take a 65-liter bag. The Ozark Trail insulated cups are some of the best insulated cups on the market. There have been tests done that show that they perform better than their competitors. They got new colors, and look at this color pattern. I've seen this pop up on several different Ozark Trail items, including this cup, and I think that looks great. And it's $6.97. To me, that's a highly desirable item. They also had another one that had like some national park badges on it there to the side. Look at these classic Stanley insulated thermoses. Now, how about bugs? Do you like bugs? I bet you don't. Well, they got a whole section here for trying to keep bugs away from you and your campsite. Obviously, spray for yourself. Deep Woods Off is going to be one of the best. Some people can't handle the high levels of DEET, but when you've got high levels of DEET on you, it'll keep away sand fleas, it'll keep away ticks, it'll keep away mosquitoes, all those types of things that you'd like to keep away. Now there's other outdoorsy sports type stuff in this area. I found there were some goggles there for swimming, ping pong paddles, not necessarily for camping, but these kind of games, these are fun. This is good for outdoor. Some of this stuff is obviously too big for a backpacking trip, but if you're a car camper or an RV camper, taking along some of these games that are collapsible and you can take with you are pretty handy, because you're probably gonna, you know, if you're taking the family out, you're gonna want to have something like this that you can entertain and be able to play with the family, have some fun. Who doesn't love a good beanbag or cornhole toss game? We actually did a video on one that wasn't so portable. These are a little bit more portable in this area. Now we move over to the tent and shelter. Don't you love it when you go to Walmart and everything's backwards? Or in the wrong spot? It happens. A lot of times it's the customer's fault and the employees don't quite catch it. Look at that. If you're gonna sell some organic produce, you should buy that. You know, you can sell whatever you want. You make some earrings and sell them. I like that one. That's got like a nice extra shade there. Now check these things when you buy them. Some of them, they say 10 by 10, but the base of the legs is the 10 by 10 and the actual top part is less. Like this one. However, this one is an Instant Up, like our old Instant Up tent. A little bit more expensive, but very easy to set up. Then you've got some accessories like this. Look at this thing. Clamp on the trash bag, cup holder for the corner. It's just a nice big tarp that you can go over the whole area. That would be great for setting up over a tent in a rainy area. Set up like a mud room. Got some patching for tents. I love looking at different stakes. These are my favorite right here. I love those orange stakes. Yellow ones are good for the sand. Those, especially those orange ones, you can twist. But look at this. It is a behemoth of a stake. I hadn't seen that one before. That was my first time seeing that one. We got some dome tents. Dome tents are a little bit harder to set up. You got to typically feed the pole through. The I love that girl. The Instant Up stuff is always going to be a bit easier to set up. And look at that. It's like a back wall with some accessories in it. That's kind of cool. I have to go back and look at that some more. The youth tent, Lucy Solar Light. Now I've got that one. And the price, that's pretty decent. We've had some issues with that one. But it's a good light overall. I highly recommend it. This one is on my Christmas wish list, birthday wish list. You can use it to direct light in a specific way. So you can wrap that wire type thing around a pole or something and aim it where you want it. Here's an Instant Up tent. Those things are a lot easier to deal with. That's another dome tent, or they might call them cabin tent. There's the 10-inch fan. It'll move a little bit of air. I actually have a video on how to cool your tent, which I will put a link up in the top right. And I talk about that fan as well, some other options. There's another instant tent there. And dome tent, looks like that one's been marked down. Coleman. They have a lot more Ozark Trail because that is the Walmart brand. They've got a few Colemans in there. They started carrying these Slumberjacks. And I do apologize if you hear purring. I'm currently petting my calico cat on my lap. Anyway, Slumberjack I had seen at Target before, and Walmart just started carrying them. So I haven't gone back to check to see if Target got rid of them. Here's a little blowtorch you can get, and here's the Mr. Heater line. Now we also have a video talking about how to heat your tent, and I will link that up to the right, but I love the Mr. Heater brand. They got a couple different awesome options. Look at this, Zippo hand lighter. It's just a hand warmer. You just light it and you hold it in your hand. Great option. Got different types of fuel. You got the butane mix and the... Oh. Here's the hoses. Check these out. The Mr. Heater hoses. I recommend getting the official Mr. Heater hoses to heat your tent. Like I said, watch the video that I linked above. I'll put it in the description as well on how to heat your tent. That was our setup and it worked very well. It could be very cold outside and time to be very cozy. Ooh, I love the old-fashioned lanterns. Oh, I got so distracted. We got some sleeping bags. If you're a car camper and you got a lot of kids, you probably won't mind these bigger, thicker, heavier sleeping bags. They take up a lot of space. But when you go into backpacking, you're gonna wanna get something that can compact down a lot more, and they usually are more expensive. And if you got a bunch of kiddos, probably might be tough to get everybody an expensive sleeping bag. Got a couple different cots there. Those also take up quite a bit of space. And you see those temperatures as well. You've got temperatures on there. There's a lot to learn about that, and I could not even go into it all right now. All I can say is you start there with that number and say I should be comfortable at 20 degrees, but then you need to add these mats and stuff like that as well. And it's a combination of factors that go into it to help keep you warm. And there's a comfort level temperature, and then there is a safety level temperature. And a lot of the stuff here at Walmart doesn't go into too much detail on that. You got to go to some of the higher end camping stores where you can, or even online, you can search about that, because it's very important. You know, obviously you want to be comfortable, that's your goal. But if the temperature drops down too low below what you're rated for your safety level, you can become dangerous. You could potentially freeze to death. So there's a lot of coolers. In fact, this Walmart, the Galveston one, had a massive amount of coolers. Even the plain styrofoam ones. I'm guessing it has a lot to do with the fishermen in the area and the crabbers. Those crabby crabbers. Krabby Patty, crabby cakes. Obviously, you've got various different kinds of coolers, the kind that we all grew up with. They all tell you how many bottles of water they'll hold or how many cans of soda. They start to get a little fancier with bigger wheels and bigger handles. And then they start getting into a thicker insulation that gets to be a lot more expensive. But these thicker insulation ones, they do more. They keep ice colder for longer, and they also can help with things like keeping bears from smelling your food a mile away and coming to your campsite to see what you got in that cooler. So you're going to want to check where you're going to make sure that you have the appropriate gear for your camping trip. Yeah, $97 for that cooler. It seems expensive, but when you go look at some of the competitors, the prime time coolers could be $300, $400, $500. So, I mean, they could be really big too, but that's also going to take up a lot of space in your vehicle. So don't over purchase what your vehicle can handle for camping. Or even if you're an RV camper, don't over purchase items than what your cargo capacity is for your RV. I could not see the inside of these. They were all safety sealed. Maybe they've had a problem at this Walmart with people sneaking stuff into the cooler to steal it. I'm not really. Hey, if you've made it this far in the video, let me know down in the comments section, how do you convince your pre-teenage children to go roughing it camping? Roughing it? Rough camp. Oh. Sounds weird. How do you convince your teen and preteen kids to go camping? Let me know down in the comments. See if we can't help some people, including myself, to help the 11 and 12 and 13 and 14 and 15 and 16-year-old kids to go camping with their parents. Got some soft-sided coolers as well. Just like backpacking, your coolers are going to have a different role, a different mission. So make sure you get the appropriate one for what you're doing. I mean, if you do a lot of different things, you might have a lot of different coolers. I love the idea of a cooler that's a backpack. How great is that? Except for the person that gets slated to carry the backpack filled with 32 cans of soda. That person might not be so great. And you know that guy that's always got that lunchbox that's insulated? And you're like, where'd you get this little cooler that you bring for lunch? He might have got it in the camping section. This, of course, is your gel packs for putting in the freezer. It's an electric cooler. I wonder how well that works. Seafoam green. Kaylin went through a seafoam green phase recently, and now more seafoam green is showing up. Hey, that was a high chair. Did you see that? A high chair that folds up. One of the things I've been really happy with is the chairs. They've been increasing the weight capacity of the chairs that they've been selling. It used to be that most chairs were a weight capacity of 250 with a few of them at 300. Recently, when we went to an air show and I needed an extra chair, I ran into Walmart to get a chair, and it was like the norm was now 300 with about half of them rated at 400. I was like, this is great. Well, I mean, not when you think about everybody being heavier, but it's just nice to know. It's just like buying a jack for your RV when you want to jack it up and change the tire. You want to pick a tool that can work best for the job, and if it's a little bit overpowered, it's going to work better. So these chairs, if they're making them and better engineering them to handle a 400-pound person, they're going to do a better job for the 200-pound person. You're going to feel a lot more comfortable and safe in that chair because they've reinforced the frames, they've done better with the cloth and mesh material. All great things that are going to make for your camping trip to be a lot better. It can be fun to look to see what other options they've got too for neat chairs, like extra wide or cooler in the armrest, or a rocking chair, love seat for two. A lot of different neat things that they're doing. Oh wow, look at that, 600 pounds, big and tall chair. Yeah, I ought to be plenty comfortable in that, I would think. Of course, if it gets too big, you might start to experience a lot of extra weight in carrying it. Look at that wagon. You can hold chairs on the bottom of it, plus carry stuff on top. And these wagons have come a long way since our first one. We used to have a red one. And I said, let's just go ahead and let it go. Hey, there's that color pattern from the cups. See, told you. Ozark Trail, they ran with this color pattern, and they're gonna start putting it everywhere. I really like it too. It looks terrific. We got some little cloth tables, metal tables. Check out the wheels on the wagon too. The bigger, thicker wheels are great for the beach because they can make it over the sand a lot better. Then they added some little rubber tread to it as well, help with traction. You got these metal folding tables. They can be used for, I've seen people put up like Blackstones and stuff on those. I'd be iffy on that. I'm not sure I would want to do that. I think that's a little teeny tiny like hiking 3-legged chair. And now it's time for hammock gear. This is actually my new direction. I am very interested. In fact, it was right here on this day, the time of filming this video. Picked up a hammock. Picked up the one that's got the built-in bug net. I took a look, I compared them. You got the one that's got the hammock, the bug mesh that came with it, and then the one that you had to buy the bug mesh separate, and the cost worked out to be exactly the same. So I went ahead and went with the one that had the bug net built into the existing hammock. And since then I've also gotten the underquilt. I don't think I saw any underquilts at Walmart. And I got a tarp for over the top. I did buy that inflatable pillow, which is neat. It's got a carabiner at the end that you can clip onto the rope. to make sure, like, you know, if you're up in the tree, I'm sorry, I just yawned. If you're up in the tree and your pillow falls out of your hammock, it'd be nice to not have it hit the ground. There's my stadium chair. See that one right there? I'm sitting on it right now. I actually use that for my office in the RV. I put it on the bed. I put a gel memory foam thing over the top of it, and then I sit on it. There's the hiking chair. That one's a little heavy. Rumor has it there is a new hiking chair coming to Walmart pretty soon that's about a pound less. Looking forward to that. Little rocking chair right there, and a young lady that I know at the end. We've got air mattresses galore. Now obviously you may want these for more than just camping. A lot of times people will keep these around the house for when company comes. You've got some that are really tall, and I cannot recommend this enough. Before you go buy a pump, check that your box doesn't have one in it. But a lot of these boxes have pumps in them, and with the amount of air mattresses and even inner tubes I've bought, I gave like 4 pumps to Goodwill because I'm like, I don't need 4 pumps. Why do you keep giving me another pump? Typically with me, the air mattress winds up popping before anything else goes, so I wound up buying another one, and voila, it came with another pump. Didn't necessarily need that. Someday I'll reveal the story of the time that we took an air mattress and we swam to the buoys in Lake Travis. That was a funny story. I don't recommend it if you need sunscreen. Ha ha ha! Yeah, hand pumps if you really feel like getting your workout, electric pumps. I don't know who buys those. Fishing poles. Now you'll see fishing poles at any Walmart, various different prices. All the way up to 50 bucks. I'm sure there's some that are even more expensive than 50 bucks here. And of course, tackle boxes, all that kind of stuff. I am not into fishing yet, but Kaylin wants to go fishing, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to make that happen. Look at all those portable coolers. I mean, not portable, but like styrofoam coolers. And the crab, literally, if you want to catch some crabs, come on down to like Port Boulevard and Galveston, Freeport. And I love this here, how they've got the little material. Like, you want to know how this tarp feels? You got a little thing right there so you can feel, is this the right grade of tarp that I need for what I'm doing? You may need a tarp for under your tent. You may want to put a tarp out and strap it up over the top of your tent. If you got a lot of rain, you got some bungees to hold the stuff in place. Just make sure you're getting the right tarp and that you're securing it properly. Obviously, it's nice to put it over the back of everything in the truck if you don't have a topper and you want to go camping and it might be raining. Now, flashlights, I guess Walmart wasn't the only place I've seen this, but they're locking up a lot of the good stuff. They do have some stuff that's outside of the locked-in case, but I guess it's a highly desirable item people are stealing, so. But I always love looking through the lighting section, checking out what they have, checking out these little lanterns. Lighting is one of my all-time favorite things. I love getting the old-fashioned lantern set up, but I love a good lantern like this too. You know, some of them are solar powered, some of them can accept a USB charge. We've got a little solar panel we can actually set out during the day and charge up something like that. Makes it a commodity compared with one that I constantly have to put D batteries into all the time. Headlamps are a great asset. I strongly recommend at least one person, if not everybody, have some headlamps in your party. And don't forget to at least you can get an emergency poncho for rain. You don't have to buy the big ones. Just depends on the area you're in and how much rain you're expecting. We actually have another video we did on 2 river tubes that we got from Walmart. I'll link that up above to the right. Definitely there's some different style tubes. They're a lot of fun. River tubing's a big deal in Texas, especially around the New Braunfels area. No, you.
Hi. Hello. I am Daddy.
Why do you have the giant walking stick?
I play Minecraft so much. I've got this. I'm gonna get it. I like Minecraft.
Now there's some other options for getting lighting as well as some other things. You can go over into the tools and like the section where you're working on cars. They've got some options like this for lights. Some of this could be honestly a little bit too bright, but depending on what you're doing at the campsite or your fishing site or whatever you're doing, this stuff could be really handy for you. And then of course, RV stuff. It's still camping, right? Right? So at Walmart, they always have an RV section. They got stuff to brighten up your RV and make it look nicer. Vacuum your RV. Oh, maybe that wasn't supposed to be there. They got the mats to put down at the bottom, which you may even want to take those kind of mats with you if you're just car camping. Cute little cups to show that you're a camper, and a camper cutting board, and all kinds of cute little things. Special little plates and rugs, and yeah, lots of stuff like that. Then you get into the more serious stuff, like stuff to strap down your awnings, stuff to work on the black tank. Yeah, that's real important. Very important. If you're not an RV camper, you don't know about this stuff. That hose right there. Anyway. You've got little adapters for your water. You're gonna have a pressure regulator, a couple different ones of those, because you don't want to put too much water pressure on your pipes in your RV. Various different water filters so that you can take that garden hose water right into your RV and possibly drink it, maybe, how much you trust it. Those shower heads are super handy. They help you save water. You've got a limitation on how much is in your water heater, so when you can cut down on how much water you're using, you can get a little bit longer of a shower. You've got bike racks that go onto the ladder in the back, and then we've got the black tank hoses. Definitely read the packaging on these so you know what you're getting. I bought the 15-foot hose, and one end was not something that I could take off and adjust. I was baffled. I'm like, what did I buy? How did I wind up with the wrong hose? And then you've got your treatments to put stuff down into the black tank. Or you got this here beautiful trolley, which you can dump your stuff into and then wheel it off somewhere else. Yeah, I've not gone that path yet. More treatment stuff. Thanks for watching our video about what kind of camping gear they got at Walmart. We really appreciate y'all watching. We'd love it if you would subscribe. Give us a thumbs up so more people can find this video. That's pretty helpful in the YouTube world. And we hope to see you all out there camping. Happy camping, y'all.